Hello, juniors. Let's talk about your assignment for today. You're going to be working on your yearly career reflection letter. Go ahead and click on this Google Docs to open up the directions, and I'm going to put them up here. So, as a junior at Village Oaks, it's important that you know in order to get a high school diploma from Village Oaks next year, you will have to make what's known as a post grad plan, meaning you will have to figure out what it is you're going to do with your life after you graduate. That's part of what we as Village Oaks require you to do before we give you a high school diploma. So if you're going to college, you're going to figure out what college you're going to go to, what are you going to study, what career do you hope to have. If you're going to do the military or the trades programs, you're going to figure out those things as well. Now, in order to help get you ready to do that post graduation plan, this year as a junior, we're going to have you do a few things, okay? First thing you're going to do is you're going to create a folder in your Google Drive and label it PGP. So I'm going to go over to my Google Drive, drive.google.com. I'm going to click new and I'm going to do a folder. I'm going to type in PGP and create. All right, and then if I scroll through my Google Drive, you'll see, oh, there's a PGP folder right there. Okay. The second thing you're going to do is when you finish this assignment up, and we'll take a look at how to do this in a second, you're going to put it into your Google Drive folder that you just made. And I'll show you how to do that in a moment. Let's not worry about that at this time. Okay. After you've made your folder in your Google Drive, you've labeled it PGP, you're going to go write yourself a letter. Now, you're not writing yourself right now a letter. You're writing a letter to yourself more than a year and a half from now. We're thinking of you in the spring of next year, on the cusp of graduation. You're getting ready to taste that high school diploma. This is who we're writing to, okay? In terms of writing this letter in Google Classroom attached to this assignment, it says My Yearly Career Reflection. Go ahead and click on that, and I'll put that up here on the screen. It's just a blank document, okay? You're going to start the letter off with Dear future me, comma, and then I'm going to hit enter, tab. Then you're going to start writing this letter to yourself. And here's what you're going to talk about. Today, I am wearing. So you'll talk about what you're wearing today. That'll just kind of be a funny look back as a senior. What I'm looking forward to most this year is my favorite subject this year is the game I'm into right now is. Now, that might be a video game, that might be a sports game, so on and so forth. Then, number 5, what are you going to do when high school ends? What career do you want to pursue? Now, you can look back at your work from the other day. Remember, you did this career zone activity. That might be helpful to go back and look at that. Then you're going to talk about what experiences have you had that make you feel like you will be a good candidate for this. So if you want to be a psychologist and you yourself have worked through some mental health issues, that's something you could talk about. Or if you want to be a sports broadcaster because you spent your whole childhood playing sports and watching sports, that's something you could talk about. What type of careers did the Career Zone survey suggest for you? Again, you could look back at your assignment from the other day, the Career Zone activity, because you took some notes on that to be able to do that. What can you relate to any of them? And then 8, we still got a few more questions. Who or what has influenced or motivated you to make you want to do what you talked about in number 5? So it asked, like, what career do you want to do when high school ends? So who or what has influenced you to pursue that career? Number 9, who will support your journey to become this and how can they? You know, if you're going to have to go to college to become a veterinarian and you need a place to live in San Diego where you study at San Diego State University, are you going to live with your aunt? Because if so, you could talk about that. Are you going to need your parents' support financially to just make it through the introductory part of a trades program? Who's going to support you? Are teachers going to help you this last year and a half of high school strengthen some of your math skills so when you go on to college, you're ready for that college level math? That's what we're looking for you to talk about in paragraph 9. Finally, paragraph 10, and this is an important one. What are some barriers? And when I say paragraph 10, I should say question 10. You don't have to have 10 paragraphs per se, but what are some barriers you may face trying to achieve this? You know, first and foremost in front of you is passing junior and senior year. That's a barrier you've got to get through. Hopefully it's not too big of a barrier. But what are some other barriers? You know, are you the kind of person that has always struggled with school and the career you want to do requires college? Because that might be a barrier you've got to get through. financially, does your family need you to work after high school in order to help make ends meet? But you still need to go train or go to college and you're going to be working at the same time? Is that a barrier you're going to have to overcome? Do you have learning barriers? Those sort of things is what I want you to talk about for number 10. Each one of these, you probably, when I say a paragraph, maybe you want to make them their own little section on the letter. So I'm going to talk about like my clothes here. What am I wearing today? Okay, it doesn't have to be super long. And then maybe the next one I'm going to do is going to be focused on the second question, what I'm looking forward to most this year. So what I am looking forward to, okay, ... Each one of those might be its own paragraph, but they don't have to be super long. Okay, we're probably looking for about a page to a page and a half for this letter. When you are done with the whole thing, so you're going to answer all 10 of those questions, you're going to sign it. I like to do sincerely. I guess you could do love if you love yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, sincerely, and then you're going to sign it. If my computer will let me. Boom, sincerely, Mr. Davis. Okay, that is what you're working on. All right, not only is this important to help you process what it is you think you want to do after high school, which is going to be essential for you to graduate from Village Oaks on time, is having that figured out, but also because we want you to be thinking about now some of the stuff you need to be handling in order to be ready for that career. Okay, if you have any questions about this assignment, please do not hesitate to ask the sub.